Now, a woman who took on Goliath. That's what all the reporters have been saying. And let me tell you, she came within 6,000 votes of beating Goliath. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Gail Cook.
Herb Conway is it, the best, fabulous, and give him the biggest hand ever. And I have to say, he has the most infectious smile and incredible laugh. And he is just wonderful to everybody. Herb, I've loved you since the first time you swore me in, and it's just very meaningful to me. Troy, I have to say, you have a great family, you're a great person, and you'll be a fabulous person in the assembly. I don't want to talk too long because we have other people that are going to be talking, but I do want to say that nobody knows what happens when one door closes and another door opens. And I do think that we have so much to look forward to with the Democratic Party. I especially want to thank our chairman, Joe Andel, who worked not only as the chair for the county, but he was the campaign manager for our county candidates. By far, the best campaign manager that we have had in Burlington County. And I would say that, I can't say enough about that. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to the 7th Legislative District, our headquarters in Willingboro, and to our team that ran it there. So let's give a hand for everybody, and I'm going to say good night, and thank you, and it was great.
And now, what can I say about Herb Conway? He's been the backbone of the Democratic Party for so many years. He's been our senior elected official, and we're so very happy that we're returning him to Trenton to fight for us tomorrow.
Well, it has been a very tough campaign. And like all tough campaigns, there are things you would have liked to have done better. And there are things that weren't perfectly well. One of the things that did go well, certainly, is that we had a very good team running and fighting the good fight in this race. We conducted ourselves, I'm very pleased to say, proud to say, honorably in this race. We told the truth. We went out and spoke to voters. And we had, of course, tremendous help from our families and from certainly our larger Democratic family, certainly starting with labor, where we could not have gotten very far without them here. Not only their manpower in the streets, but their financial power as well. Absolutely indispensable to us. Willingboro, as always, came through for us, as they always do. We had the numbers coming in from the Republican towns early, and of course we always wait with bated breath to see what Willingboro will bring us. And as usual, you know, they put us right in position to win this race. So we couldn't do without you. There's so many people that have been so grateful. It is a bittersweet election in that I'm going to be going back to Trenton without my friend Jack. As you know, and Jack's right here, and I want you to clap for him. You'll be missed, certainly, and certainly the folks that you have touched in your work in the Assembly these last 14 years is indelible, and it will be remembered as it should be. And thank you. Out making phone calls today and everything, Jack. But very glad. Sorry to miss you, but I know you're going to be around, and we'll be talking frequently, I'm sure. And of course, we're very pleased to welcome to the Assembly our Troy Singleton, who has done a fantastic job. work ethic throughout this race has been exemplary. And for those who are within earshot and those who will get to observe him as we move forward into this next term, the same kind of work that he has done and prosecuting this campaign and bringing home a victory, he will bring to his service in Trenton. And those who are served by him, not only here but across the state, will be well served. And we'll be very glad of him. Congratulations, Troy. It's not an easy thing to step up. You take time away from your family, you're out there working hard in Bordentown, and in Florence, and in Delran. We had great local candidates all over this county, and I congratulate you for the great work you did in running this local race. And last, I would say to our chairman. Yeah, I need to say yeah to that. He is, and I will tell you, because I work closely with him and others, he is someone who works and works and works for the Democratic Party in this county. And everybody should know that. Reaching into his own pocket, taking money out of his own pocket to get money where it needs to be to get to keep this operation moving forward. Not an easy thing to do when you've not been in power here for a long time, but you do it with great aplomb. I don't think you get all the things that you deserve and should have, but I'm very glad, particularly after the last bunch, to have someone who's honest and forthright and is we're in it for the right purpose.
Hear, hear.
Thanks for all you do. Thank you for all you do. And I'm going to stop. And we'll see you down the road. Can't wait to get back to work.
Some would say we're saving the hardest worker for last. That's right. Let me tell you, Sheila has no choice but to swear you in now. And let me tell you, Troy has worked from day one all the way through to 7:30 tonight. He's asking Tyler for a phone list, wasn't he? 7:30. He was still trying to make phone calls to get voters out. That's how hardworking and dedicated he is. And I'm happy to introduce to you our new assemblyman for the 7th District, someone who's going to make us very proud for a long, long time, Mr. Troy Singh.
I'm not usually caught without words, but I'll try and muddle through this a little bit. Thank you. I'll try and muddle through it a little bit. First and foremost, I have to thank my family. My wife, Megan, my son, Jalen, my daughter, Isabel, and little TJ, who woke up. When everyone talks about sort of what's your inspiration, how you get going, that's it right there. That's my thing. I would be remiss if I did not thank two of the greatest parents that anybody could ever have, who taught me everything it meant about giving back and what giving back really means. And that's my mother and father, Elijah and Dolores. The good thing is when you marry into a family, you get a whole other family with you. And you know, I have the great honor of having another set of parents who always treated me as if I was their son. And I always call her, she's my mother. She's my mother, and I call her that all the time. And that's my mother, Liv, and my father, Jim. You know, we have an incredible team in LD-7 that was able to get us to the finish line. You know, there's a million folks in here who are a part of that team, and I promise you, if I had to name everybody, the only people who wouldn't be named as part of that team is probably be the wait staff, I guess, in this room. But I gotta single out just a couple folks. I gotta single out the boss, my boss, the little ball of dynamite, Tyler Houseman, the architect. She's the architect of a fresh government, as we like to say. I I got our deputy campaign manager, Charlie Graziano, who last year worked his tail off for our departed brother, John Adler, and this is his piece of redemption, because he was able to get I got my little sister, Courtney, who, even though she went to the wrong RU, I still love her. I still love her to death. Courtney Johnson lives all the time. And I tell you, I stand on the shoulders of giants. You know, one of the first giants I stand on is the one right behind me, who I'm honored to serve with and stand next to. Some of the folks, you know, our next majority leader of the assembly was kind enough to tear away from his nip and tuck tight race of like winning by like 16, 17,000 votes or something ridiculous to come be with us. And that's my good friend, Assemblyman Lou Greenwald, who's with us tonight. Many folks know sort of how I feel about two other individuals, and one has already been mentioned, and I can't say any more words about my friend Jack Connors, who, when the first job I ever got in this whole thing in government was in his dining room, sitting at his dining room table, and he said, "Kid, I'm gonna give you a shot. Don't screw it up, baby." He means a lot to me. That's my friend Jack Connors. The other guy that I have to single out, and I apologize because I'm just going to do this, so forgive me. The other guy I got to single out is another man who is literally like my father, and I call him for advice, and he calls me for advice, not advice, but he calls me to give me whether solicited or unsolicited advice. But I love him as if he was my father, and I feel like I am his son, and that's my dear friend Joe Roberts, who came up from Florida. And it's funny because I was sitting there and I was picking with somebody today, and they're like, you're never supposed to say that you're friends with the next guy. You're supposed to whisper like that you're his friend. I am beyond honored, and I'm privileged to count George Norcross as a friend of mine, because he's always been a friend of mine. He's never asked me to do anything that I could not do, and he gave me this opportunity along with a lot of people through his help and generosity of his goodwill to help me get there. And I have to say and acknowledge my good friend George Norcross. Thank you, sir. Whether you were a volunteer on this piece or you were a paid person on this piece, everybody played a role. You know, I got, some of my oldest friends, some of my fraternity brothers were kind enough to, whether they giving me money or beating the streets, they were there for me, and people who worked with me in the Carpenters Union. And every union was strong. Every piece of organized trade, every trade was with us. But there's a special place for my brothers at the Carpenters Union who I know I couldn't be here without. So, and I know if some of them were in the room, so, for my brothers at the Carpenters Union, my dad as a retired Teamster always picks with me about this, but for my brothers in the Carpenters Union, thank you for being here for me. For those that know, I will tell you, is, the slogan we had is always about can't stop, won't stop. That means we can't stop representing the middle class. We can't stop representing the shared values that we all appreciate. We can't stop making sure that we're putting real people before politics and not making it a slogan, but making it real. And I promise you, not only will we can't stop doing that, we won't stop doing that. And I promise you, I'll work hard to